Hello everyone, my name is Lou. I'm a certified freediver living in Melbourne, and I want to give you 5 reasons why you should give freediving a go. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. How the hell did I end up becoming a freediver? Look, honestly, when I tell people that I freedive, this is a reaction that I get. And honestly, no wonder. Most of the media that freediving gets focuses sadly on the losses that our community has suffered. So why would you want to put yourself at risk like that? I get it. So look, I'll tell you what did it for me, and then you can make up your own mind. The first reason why you should consider freediving is because it allows for deeper exploration of the ocean. Look, if you're already into snorkeling, guess what? You're absolutely gonna love freediving. Essentially, what freediving allows you to do is just to go down to that bottom of that pier where that leafy sea dragon is just chilling, get really close, take a picture, hang out with them for a while, come back up, all of that without feeling like you're gasping for air. To put it very simply, freediving expands the opportunities that snorkeling gives you, offering you more perspectives to take advantage of. And now some of you may be thinking, well, isn't that kind of what scuba is for? Like going deeper and staying longer without having to hold your breath? That just sounds easier. And yes, but that actually takes me to reason number 2. Reason number 2 is that freediving is essentially like scuba, but without the hassle. Okay, so let me tell you a bit of a story. Rewind back to 2015 when I got my open water diving certificate. I dove down to my first wreck, which was off a coast in Mexico, and it was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I was just taken aback by the beauty of it all, and I just couldn't help to get back in the water. That is, until I saw the price tags that scuba diving entails. To put things into perspective for those of you who are not scuba divers, an average outing on a scuba trip will cost you around $100 to $200. And then there's gear rental. Look, it obviously depends on where you're based. If you're in Australia, it'll be more expensive than if you're in Thailand, for example. But generally speaking, it's an expensive hobby. Back in 2015, I was a student. There was no way that I could afford that on a random weekend. So what I thought is, okay, what if I get my own gear, and then I don't have to rent gear? Again, no. To get your own gear, I was looking at around $1,500 to $2,000. And that's what got me thinking. I was like, okay, a lot of the dives that I want to do are actually shore dives, which means you can just walk into the ocean and do this dive. And a lot of them were around, sitting around the 8 to 12 meter depth. So I was like, well, do I really need the gear for this? Sure, I wanted to go down and look at things from an 8-meter perspective. So I was like, what if I could just hold my breath for longer? And that's what got me into freediving. Now, after 5 years of being a certified freediver, I can tell you I was absolutely on the right track. Freediving has offered me opportunities that I thought only scuba could give me. And actually, once I started freediving, I realized I actually prefer this because I felt so much more free being able to explore the ocean without all the gear weighing me down. I didn't have this BCD and the regulator and I did have the weight belt, but the tank, I was not constrained by absolutely anything. I could just swim wherever I wanted to. My fellow scuba divers will know the nightmare that it is to go in and out of the ocean with all that gear. Well, beauty, freediving, you don't have that. It's all just nice and free. Now, for those of you who are thinking, oh my god, how can freediving be peaceful? Holding your breath sounds anything but peaceful. You're very wrong. Which actually takes me to the third reason why you should try freediving. It is peaceful as. Look, I was never a sports person as a kid. Firstly, I was quite clumsy, which didn't help, but also I just didn't care whether we won or lost. If I tried to kick a ball and missed it, I'd just be like, oh well. I made a lot of my classmates angry, and I was that kid that everybody hoped wouldn't be on their team. And then I discovered freediving. The core tenet of freediving is that you need to calm your mind and your muscles and just relax and be present. Yes, they're actually the same core tenets as mindfulness. If you're even a little bit stressed, guess what? It's not going to be a good day in your freediving journey, because that stress will come out in other ways. You will notice it because like your brain is using all this energy and oxygen to kind of like deal with the stress, secreting cortisol all over the place, and you won't do well because you'll be using all that energy in being stressed. So ultimately, the trick to freediving is to just be mindful and relaxed. A good freediving coach will not be the person who's screaming at you, telling you to go harder and faster and give me 1,000 push-ups. No, they will be the exact opposite. They will ask you, how are you feeling? And whether you're relaxed, and what would you like to do today? They will ask you what you want and make sure you're safe as you train. It's a completely supportive, no-stress environment led by you. And once you're floating in the water, weightless, with no sound around you, just you, your body, and the big blue, honestly, there's nothing more peaceful than that. Now, the fourth reason why you should try freediving is because it's great for anxiety. Look, I've already touched this a little bit in the previous point, but guess what? If you're relaxed, there's no way you can be stressed. Now, some of you may be familiar with breathing exercises such as box breathing, which is quite useful when trying to calm down an anxiety attack. Well, guess what freediving training looks like? It's breathing exercises, it's body scans, and countdowns. And the thing is, when you're listening to your body, you learn to be more curious about what's going on. So let's say we're holding our breaths and you start feeling a pressure in your chest. So with freediving, what you train yourself to do is, instead of saying, oh my God, I'm running out of air, quick, run, do something about this, you become curious about it. And you're like, I'm feeling a pressure in my chest. What happens if I relax those muscles? What happens then? And so on and so forth. So ultimately, you end up learning so much about your body and about yourself. It leads to a huge increase in self-awareness, which then leads to a lot of self-confidence, both inside and outside the water. In the water, you'll become more confident because you'll know very well what your abilities and your limits are. I also surf, and since I started freediving, I became way more calm when being wiped out by a wave, because I knew I could hold my breath for 1.5 minutes, and I knew a wipeout was not going to take me down for longer than 1.5 minutes. So suddenly, an experience that was quite chaotic at the beginning and a bit scary, I'm just like, cool, I'm just being rolled over by this wave. I'll just wait for it to pass and then come up. And the interesting thing is that outside of the water, your body will start recognizing this stress symptoms or stress signs and start reacting the exact same way that you do while you're training for freediving. So if suddenly something happens at work and you get stressed, you'll be like, ooh, I'm feeling pressure in my chest. What happens if I relax this muscle? And suddenly the big stress just disappears. So it's quite useful. The fifth reason why you should try freediving is because it gives you a unique sense of achievement. Now, I said at the beginning that I'm not competitive, and that's still true. I couldn't care less about winning world records or anything of the sort. But what freediving does give me is a unique sense of achievement and self-improvement. So in a sense, you're kind of competing with yourself. Freediving is a very personal sport. How you do today will not be the same as how you do tomorrow. How you slept, what you ate, what you did during the day, everything will come out when you're training. So ultimately, what freediving is it's an exercise in self-awareness. Because it doesn't matter that today you didn't do as good as yesterday. That's not the point. I mean, there's no sustainability in trying to be better every single time. I find that it usually kind of goes like this. So maybe today you didn't do as well, but you'll be like, okay, I clearly had a big day today, and this is where I'm at today, and that's okay. And maybe I need to watch my stress levels during the day, and maybe I need to sleep better. Maybe I shouldn't stress that much about that particular project because it's negatively impacting me. So I'll take care of that and then come back tomorrow. Essentially, freediving is the opportunity to touch base with yourself, to know whether you should go a bit gentler today, to keep steady, or push a bit further. And when you go out consistently, and you suddenly find that that impossible milestone now feels easy. When you feel calm and confident when you could do that extra meter or hold those extra 10 seconds that just seemed to be out of the question a few months ago. Oh my God, there's just nothing like it. It's a great way to demonstrate to yourself that you can do absolutely anything that you set your mind to. So there you go. Those are my 5 reasons why you should try freediving. And look, if that didn't convince you, I honestly don't know what will, because it's absolutely changed my life, and I think everybody should try it because it's amazing, but it's all good. Look, if you like this video, check out my other videos in my freediving series to learn more about the sport. And if you still watch this whole thing and are still like, yeah, nah, not for me, then no worries. There's something for everyone. Maybe you want to check my snorkeling or scuba diving series and check out what other opportunities the beautiful ocean has in store for you. See you next time.